Atlantis Submarines also tours Oahu with an entirely different focus. Here, you have to dig a little deeper under the surface. Deeper underground, because all of the plains beneath Honolulu are limestone, a huge remnant of compressed and solidified coral. It formed over 100,000 years ago when the area was underwater and coral built itself over the lava flows. Oahu, like Maui, is also formed by two volcanoes, now eroded into long ridgelines. A partial fringing reef flourishes in certain protected areas. Besides being the most famous beach in the world, Waikiki is the most visited area in the state, receiving 75% of the 6.5 million tourists a year. At one time, it was a network of rich wetland taro and royal fish ponds. But through the course of time, the coastal environment was altered to accommodate development. The natural reef was dredged and sand was brought in to create more beach area. That's why Atlantis decided to create artificial reef structures off the coast of Waikiki to join in a research effort to discover how an area can be replenished and how long it takes. The Waikiki Submarine Tour is a lesson in ecology as well as another fun and exciting introduction to Hawaiian reef life. The tour off Waikiki descends to a depth of about 85 feet to the first artificial reef structure. Schools of opelu, or mackerel, hover near the surface. These ladder-like constructions weigh about 27 tons and are part of a University of Hawaii research project in partnership with Atlantis Hawaii. It has attracted a huge variety of familiar fishes and supporting plant and animal organisms. The surfaces are encrusted with new plant and animal life, a garden tended by these plankton-eating fishes. These small openings provide shelter for residents from predators and strong currents. Preliminary testing has shown that the marine life in the Atlantis Reef area has multiplied about 3,000 times since inception. The next experimental reef structure was designed and fabricated in the city of Asahi, Japan. In this manner, the Japanese cultivate nutritious seaweed for sushi and other fine foods. It's made of fiberglass and weighs about 25 tons. Not to be mistaken for Moorish idols, these black and white striped pennant fish seem to match the delicate rings of the Asahi Reef. And the Lauvilivili also have adopted this as their private feeding ground. Traveling down to about 110 feet, the sun continues its underwater flight to the deepest artificial reef. A Mitsubishi YS-11 airplane was placed here and opened up to allow shelter and plenty of room for fish. Damselfish have claimed part of it as an egg-laying site and will energetically defend their patch of algae. But the best part of the show lies silent a short distance away. The sunken Navy oil tanker YO-257, a veteran of 3 wars, is Hawaii's largest shipwreck. It was built 50 years ago. Who would have thought it would end up providing life to thousands of sea creatures off the coast of Waikiki? Coral and encrusting algae growths have sprouted up from the decks. Large holes were cut so the fish could maneuver around inside and find privacy or refuge. It's one of the highlights of daily scuba diving tours. This is Ernie. Ernie has moved into an old pipe and can always be found here, keeping watch over the whole parade. The population of ocean citizens here is amazing, considering how short a time it took to colonize the ship. It's different every day, but you can always count on the schools of Ta'ape and, of course, Ernie. That's another one of the Atlantis subs in Waikiki, viewing the wreckage from the other side. The pilot heads for the surfacing area now, near the lava flow called Pali'opono, or Ridge of Life. The Atlantis adventure is not only beautiful, but teaches a valuable lesson about conservation of our precious Hawaiian reefs and marine life resources.
Malama Aina.
Malama Aina. Care for the land, or Aina, and it will care for you. The Aina for Hawaiians extends all the way from the mountain to the seafloor. Lokahi, unity, balance, and harmony with nature. Mana'o'io, a respect for the things of nature and the true spirit or mana they have.
Aloha Aina.
Aloha Aina, the love of this land.
No laila, pono no kako e aloha ai malama I ia aina nei.